Hey guys, long time no tarot. It's been a while. But I'm here. I'm going to do something special today. I'm going to do love readings. We don't do love readings all the time, but we're going to do them today. I have all my decks out, and this reading is going to be for Leo. Now, I did a little premeditation like I always do, and I pre shuffled the cards, and wow, was there an array of emotions going on in relationships and love for Leo. Now, just so you know, this is a love reading. Apply it how it resonates. If this is like your life partner, someone you're dating, maybe you have, a really close relationship with a parent, a sibling. It's about love. It's about the people that we are most connected to and we feel closest to. So that's what this reading is about. Now, as I was doing my meditation, there was a few things that came to the forefront, and the first thing that kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks was the element of something being said that you wish you could take back, or someone wishes that they could take back, and not in a bad way. It was almost like a sharing of vulnerability that was intended to be shared but then instantly regretted. And I don't necessarily think it's because somebody said the wrong thing. I think it's because somebody doesn't always share their emotions so freely and doesn't um, always get on that level with people. So it's almost like there was this going around in your head, should I have shared that? Or for them, whoever the person is, wherever the energies apply, put it there. Um, but there was also a lot of energy surrounding how fast something is going or how slow something is going in terms of this relationship and your ultimate wish fulfillment. And an element of patience was brought in there too, being patient for the things that we want. So I'm just going to go ahead and start reading. Um, Here's how I'm going to read it. I'm going to do two rows. One row is going to represent yourself and the energies that you are currently projecting onto the relationship. Sometimes we're not always aware of the energies we're projecting onto our relationships. And I'm also going to read for the energy the other person in the situation is projecting as well. And I hope that gives some food for thought. So I'm just going to select a deck here to represent you, Leo, in this reading. And as I was shuffling and reading, this one stood out the most as it felt most connected to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. So, how is Leo currently projecting onto the relationship? This came up a lot. Okay, this came up in the meditation. This is the Seven of Swords. I remember I mentioned there was this element there of wishing that you could take words back. I almost felt like something was said with good intention, but something was said, and now you're kind of like trying to hide in the woodwork. I also got this element of hiding behind your work to say, I'm busy, I can't, I got all this stuff to do. But the Seven of Swords came up. And the Seven of Swords can mean different things. A lot of people actually think about deceit or dishonesty when it comes to the Seven of Swords, but in this situation, it was almost like, don't look at me, don't see me, just avert your eyes, look elsewhere, kind of, and don't notice this thing that I'm doing because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about it. It's an emotional thing, and that's what it felt like. And the swords, someone carries a sword when they are guarded, right? So there's that. What else is Leo projecting onto this relationship? Oh, this is at the bottom of the deck. I have to talk about it because it's the Eight of Wands. You got the Nine of Wands a lot as well, and Nine of Wands usually comes in after there's been this communication. There's been a fast communication, maybe a communication that wasn't completely said with a lot of forethought, and hey, whatever, that happens. But there's this element of regret, and again, about the ultimate wish fulfillment, okay, which is under here, whatever your wish fulfillment is. But let's read on about this a little bit more. Communications, maybe I'll just take that out and leave it there. What else is Leo currently projecting onto the relationship? I feel as well this could be, if you haven't said something, you're very eager to say something to this other party. You want to communicate with them on a certain level, but there could be a shyness to it. That is an alternative interpretation to this reading as well. But let's see, what else is Leo projecting onto the relationship? It's funny, this communication card comes out, now the cards don't want to talk. There we go. Two of Cups is right there. Two of Cups can often refer to a decision that needs to be made. It can also refer to, you know, the decisions we make with the tight bonds that we have with people. But from what I'm getting from this, it has to do with vulnerability and heart space and an offering of it. And an offering of it in some way. It's funny, like all of these cards came up in your meditation. There's the Seven of Cups and the Ten of Cups. I feel like you are kind of in a place where you're trying to make some decisions about your future and your overall personal happiness, and our personal relationships with people we love have a lot to do with that. I want to read a little more. I feel like whatever it is that you want to communicate or you have communicated is not easy for you. It's not easy for you to do that. But the feeling that I'm getting and the thing that you want to communicate is that you want like the ultimate life happiness with a certain individual, and the sooner the better. Now, the sooner the better. Again, this element of patience that I said needed to come through here. Let's expand on that. Because I feel like there's hurt being inflicted or hurt being felt, right? Evidence by this Ten of Swords and evidence by the desire, which is the Ten of Cups. There is this hurt being felt, and it could very well have to do with a lack of communication that's going on. And maybe you're not communicating it because you know perhaps that what you want is a bit too fast. Might be a little bit too fast. There's this feeling of confliction with it. And part of that could also be that you're still learning what it is that you want. Like, it's almost like the world is your oyster right now. Like, you have a multitude of options. That's what this feels like. You have a multitude of options, again, decisions. But you want what you want. I keep hearing that. Leo wants what Leo wants. We're going to expand a bit, okay? So this is what I'm getting from this. What you are projecting onto the relationship is you probably have something that you want to communicate. You might not be sure how to communicate it. And if you already have, you may not have communicated it in the way that you want to. Okay? Let's carry on. I'm going to see what this other person is projecting onto the relationship. Let's see here. Oh, in case you're curious, this is Kim Cran's Wild Unknown. It's a beautiful deck. I love it. As all decks do, it screamed at me across the store, and I screamed back. What is the other person projecting on to this relationship? So far here, we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay? I want to elaborate on this a little bit. Funny, so you have, it's funny, like right one above the other, you have the Six of Swords, and this person has the Six of Pentacles. One is of the mind and one has feet on the ground, grounded. Okay, Tower is on the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Cups, the Sun. I'll be with you in a second, friends. Emperor. Okay. In comparison to one another, what I can see up at the top, like the wands and the swords for you, you are a person very much so of the mind, and you are a communicator. Okay, this person here, very, very earthy, based on the Six of Pentacles, based on the Lovers, the Emperor, and the King of Pentacles. If you have a question in your own mind about this person's intent for you, okay, they are very well intended. They seem to be like a very vulnerable person, and maybe that's where you differ. They have, okay, the Knight of Cups here. They may share themselves very freely. Maybe that freaks you out a little bit, okay? But again, here we have the Sun, which is the ultimate happiness card, the Lovers, the Emperor, and the Father or King of Pentacles, okay? This is a very positive projection onto the relationship. They seem to feel that they have a serious connection with you. This is kind of interesting because I kind of feel like whatever needs to be said, it needs, now that I'm kind of reading this more, whatever it is that needs to be said, I kind of feel like it's the differences between the two of you that you might want to talk about. So let's elaborate on that. Just to note, on the bottom of your deck is the Queen of Pentacles, which matches that King of Pentacles. What is this thing that needs to be communicated? Or it almost feels like it's an itch. You know, it almost feels like until you get it off your chest, what is it that needs to be communicated? Again, this is partly intuitive, right? So if it resonates, great. If the shoe don't fit, the shoe's not for you. Come back for another one. What is this communication? This Eight of Wands that's up here for Leo's projection. Oh, my dear. Relationships are a funny thing, you know? I kind of get the sense that this is like, you both want the same thing, but I feel like it's Leo that has a problem expressing that. Why? Okay, like, look, this is what the communication is about, okay? Queen of Wands, this is about, as a queen goes, as a court card goes, this is about desires. This is about your personal confidence, okay? This person makes you feel good. They make you feel like the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, okay, when she walks into a room, everybody knows it. Everybody knows when the Queen of Wands is there. This person makes you feel. Look, you have the Sun too. So do they. It's interesting. I feel like you guys want the same thing. Look, there's the Ten of Pentacles there. This person seems to make you feel good. So why don't you communicate it? Again, I got this element. Maybe this is a fairly new relationship. Maybe it's not. Like, heck, I've been with my partner for ages. I've known him for over 25 years. And we still have this thing where, you know, like, we sit in silence and don't necessarily say what's on our minds. Like, that isn't just in new relationships. That's in all relationships. And sometimes you're left wondering what the other person is thinking. And that's what this kind of feels like. What's the other person thinking? I don't want to make a fool of myself. I don't want to say something, you know, off the cuff and, like, scare them away. Oh, a bunch of cards just fell out. What's the hesitation? That's what I want to know. What's the hesitation about? King of Wands, Justice, another Eight of Wands, the High Priestess, the Tower, the Chariot, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So, here they are, okay? What's the hesitation? I got this element of too soon, too fast, based on my meditation when the Knight of Pentacles came out. There could be need for more time for healing, for personal processes. And the Tower is here as well. Okay? Maybe there's a hesitation from expressing oneself because you already know that the foundation that which you stand on is not stable. There's something about stability and foundations here with the Tower. It's hard to, have that perfect relationship that you both want when you know you've got stuff to work on. Whatever that might be, whatever it is, career, not to be negative, but but trauma that you're working on for yourself. Perhaps, and that might be a little element here, is like you're almost afraid of your own feelings, right? You're like, no, oh God, don't want to catch feelings, but they're there. There's this reciprocal energy. But an unstable foundation. I'm going to use my last deck. What's this Tower about? Let's clarify this, okay? Let's clarify this Tower. Tower moments happen for all sorts of reasons, right? All sorts of reasons. That was kind of messy, but whatever. Let's see here. What is this Tower moment about? The Ace of Cups. Justice over here. Judgment here. The Two of Swords. This is interesting. These cards came out in reverse, and I'm going to read them both ways, okay? The Five of Cups, the Hierophant, which came out like 5 times in your meditative reading that I did. 5 times. The Hierophant. And the Five of Wands. Again, things that need to be worked on and decisions that need to be made. You might be waiting for answers about your life. Maybe you applied for a job somewhere. Maybe you're waiting to hear from someone about something. But this Hierophant, this could have to do with a relationship that you had in the past. And I kind of feel like maybe you left a lot with that relationship. You left a lot behind. A lot of emotional stuff, which might be why it's difficult to communicate. I also get this other element of other people's opinions about what you're doing, or this person in your life, okay? And other people's opinions don't matter. I feel like that's also, like, there's just this thing about it, like, oh, if, I can't be with that person because so-and-so wouldn't approve of that, or there's a little bit of that. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, doesn't. Okay. Any final messages? I'm going to use the Rider-Waite again because that's the deck that I used for you. Any final messages about this situation? Let's ask the question. Do you say something or do you not say something? And if you do, what do you say? Seven of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles came out in your reading a lot as well. And that's about hard work. And I don't care what it's on. Your career or yourself, whatever it is. This, just so you know, here, hold on. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. the Tower again, the Ace of Wands, and the Devil. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. It's my hair I'm shedding. This is what I'm going to say about the Devil, especially coming up here with the Tower. Okay. The Devil only has as much power as you give it. Okay, so whether this Devil is someone's opinion of what you're doing or who you have in your life, or whether this Devil is past trauma that's preventing you from sharing your vulnerability with others, it only has as much control as you give it. Okay? I feel like that's an important message that I need to say here. And if you need to stay focused on your work for now, who cares? Do your thing, girl. Like, do it. I feel like there's this work, this great work. You know, I wish I had the card here. Maybe I can find it. But the 8 of Pentacles in the Kim Kranz deck. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Have a nice look at it. Every time I see this card, I think, I'm just going to pull it out. I think of Charlotte's Web and Charlotte creating what she called her magnum opus, her great work. And I feel like for you right now, you have an awareness about this great work. Again, whether it's your career, yourself, certain relationships in your life, I feel like it's really personal to yourself though. Okay, and career yourself as well. But it seems like that's where you are putting your attention right now. It's almost like you don't want to get caught away with yourself in illusions. The 7 of Cups here, as well as it being a card of many choices, it can also be the card of illusions. And I don't think you want to be trapped in illusions right now. You're like, I'm working on my great work. I don't want to be trapped in nonsense. Again, that could be, you know, because of stuff from the past that has taught you, like, hey, you don't want to deal with that anymore, right? 22. Yeah. Work on your magnum opus. Work on your great work. Create the stable foundation that you need. I feel like this is very personal. Like, it's, you need to rebuild your own foundations. And once it's built, all that vulnerable stuff is going to come after. All right, Leo. I think that's it, right? Hope you enjoyed your reading. I'll be back whenever I'm back, but today I had time, so I'm doing it. Okay? We'll talk to you later.